The Zodiac Killer is one of America's most notorious and enigmatic serial killers. The Zodiac murdered at least 5 people in the late 1960s and early 1970s in the San Francisco Bay Area, and possibly many more. The killer's identity has never been definitely established, and the case remains unsolved to this day. The Zodiac's first confirmed murder occurred on December 20th, 1968, when he shot and killed 2 teenagers, David Faraday and Betty Lou Jensen, in a parked car on Lake Herman Road in Benicia, California. The killer then sent a letter to the Vallejo Times-Herald, in which he claimed responsibility for the murders and included a cryptogram that he said contained his identity. The Zodiac's next confirmed attack occurred on July 4th, 1969, when he shot and killed another couple, Darlene Ferrin and Mike Magew, in their car in a parking lot in Vallejo, California. Magew survived the attack and provided a description of the shooter, but the Zodiac was wearing a hood and Magew's description was not very detailed. On September 27th, 1969, the Zodiac attacked a couple, Brian Hartnell and Cecilia Shepard, at Lake Berryessa near Napa, California. The killer was wearing a black hood and a costume that included a crossed circle emblem on his chest. The Zodiac tied up the couple, stabbed them repeatedly, and then left them for dead. However, both victims managed to survive the attack and provide descriptions of the killer. The Zodiac's final confirmed attack occurred on October 11th, 1969, when he shot and killed a cab driver named Paul Steen in San Francisco's Presidio Heights neighborhood. The killer took a piece of Stein's shirt as a trophy and sent a letter to the San Francisco Chronicle in which he claimed responsibility for the murder. One of the most distinctive features of the Zodiac case was the killer's habit of sending letters to the media and police. The letters were usually written in a taunting and boastful style, and often included cryptograms and other puzzles that the Zodiac claimed would reveal his identity. The Zodiac sent a total of 4 cryptograms, only one of which has ever been definitely solved. The solved cryptogram contained a message from the Zodiac in which he claimed that killing people was his pleasure, and that he would not be caught because he was too clever. The Zodiac also sent letters to the media and police in which he claimed responsibility for the murders and threatened to kill again if his letters were not published. He also included details about the murders that had not been released to the public, indicating that he was indeed the killer. One of the most notorious letters sent by the Zodiac was a 3-page letter to the San Francisco Examiner in which the killer threatened to kill school children on a school bus. This letter caused widespread panic and led to increased police patrols in the Bay Area. Over the years, many people have been considered as possible suspects in the Zodiac case, but none have ever been definitely linked to the crimes. Some of the more prominent suspects include Arthur Leigh Allen, a Vallejo schoolteacher who had a history of mental illness and a fascination with guns and knives. Allen was the primary suspect in the case for many years, and several people who knew him claimed that he resembled the police sketches of the Zodiac. However, DNA testing on evidence from the case has not definitely linked Allen to the crimes, and he died in 1992 without ever being charged. Another possible suspect is a man named Richard Gajkowski, a former journalist who had been fired from the San Francisco Chronicle and had a history of mental illness. Gajkowski had also been involved in the Bay Area counterculture scene, which led some to believe that he may have been the Zodiac. However, there is no direct evidence linking Gajkowski to the crimes. Other suspects have included a man named Lawrence Kane, who had been arrested for a similar murder in 1973 and bore a striking resemblance to the Zodiac police sketches, and a man named Ross Sullivan, who was a student at a college near of the Zodiac crime scenes and had a history of mental illness. Despite decades of investigation and numerous suspects, the identity of the Zodiac killer remains a mystery to this day. The Zodiac killer's case continues to fascinate and intrigue people to this day, due in part to the killer's enigmatic persona and the fact that the case remains unsolved. The case has inspired numerous books, movies and television shows and has led to countless theories and speculation about the killer's true identity. The Zodiac's letters and cryptograms have also sparked the interest of codebreakers and puzzle enthusiasts. who continued to work on solving the unsolved cryptograms in the hopes of revealing new clues about the killer's identity. In the aftermath of the killings, law enforcement agencies across the United States began to establish more advanced crime investigation techniques, including the use of forensic evidence, behavioral profiling, and the formation of multi-agency task forces to track down serial killers. In conclusion, the story of the Zodiac Killer is a terrifying tale of a mysterious and brutal serial killer who terrorized the San Francisco Bay Area in the late 1960s and early 1970s. Despite numerous investigations and countless suspects, the killer's identity remains a mystery, leaving a haunting legacy that continues to captivate and intrigue people around the world.